Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today into Plant Magic by Jessica Hundley.
Ooh, this is a good one.
It is! We're going to be talking about everything from the history of plant magic
Mm-hmm.
to how you can actually bring it into your everyday life. So, you ready?
Absolutely. I'm excited to
Okay.
dig into this one. I feel like it's something that resonates with so many people.
Yeah. So the book, it
Yeah.
does a really cool thing, right? It kind of connects this ancient world
Right.
with modern practices. And the author, Jessica Hundley, she's a writer and an editor.
Mm-hmm.
And she really dives deep into this idea that plants are more than just,
Yeah.
decorations or something to look at, right? They
Yeah.
have this inherent power.
Yeah, they're like almost like allies. You can
Yeah.
rely on them in a sense.
Yeah, and she talks about ancient cultures, way
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
history that kind of knew this intuitively, right? Like the ancient Egyptians.
Yeah.
They were using plants like blue lotus and aloe vera, and not just for healing, but also in their rituals to connect with the divine. Isn't that fascinating?
It is. And they use them in their burial rituals too. Like they would bury their loved ones with all sorts of
Wow.
herbs and plants, to help them.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, like for the afterlife and all that.
Yeah, exactly. For the journey into the afterlife.
That's really cool. And you think about the Druids, right? They
Yes.
were all about those oak trees.
The oak trees, those are like their sacred
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a symbol of strength.
strength and wisdom. Yeah. Like these big ancient trees that had been
Yeah.
around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's so interesting how, this idea, right, of plants having this deeper meaning, it wasn't just in these ancient cultures. It kind of,
It transcends time.
yeah,
Right.
it's throughout history. Even the Victorians, they had their language of flowers,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Where every bloom had its own secret meaning.
Right.
You could communicate without even speaking.
Exactly. Like a rose meant love or a lily
Yeah.
meant purity or whatever. Yeah.
So cool. So it's like we're seeing this resurgence, right? This
Yeah.
interest in plant-based healing and herbalism. We're kind of remembering what our ancestors already knew.
I know. It's funny, like you think about it, it's like, well, yeah, we came from nature.
Yeah,
Why would we
exactly.
not have that connection still?
That's so true. And Hundley, she makes this really important point, right? That plant magic
Yeah.
isn't just about the plants themselves. It's not just grabbing a handful of herbs.
Yeah.
It's really about you, about the energy, the intention that you bring to it.
It's the intention that really drives it. Yeah. Like if you just
Yes.
go through the motions, it's not going to be as effective.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. And she talks a lot about mindfulness too. Like it's about being present.
Being present, yeah.
Mhm.
Really paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, I need this herb, so I'm just going to grab it. It's like, okay, I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to connect with this plant. I'm going to feel its energy,
Yeah.
and ask permission even.
Really, asking permission from the plant.
Yeah, some people do that. They say, thank you. May I work with you? And just like,
Wow, okay.
yeah, it's just about having that respect for the plant, I think.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the specific healing powers. I mean, this is kind of
Yeah, let's get into it.
exciting, right? What are you talking about here? I know we all kind of know chamomile tea is good for
Yeah.
calming you down or
Lavender. Yeah,
Oh.
lavender is great for sleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But let's dive into some of the examples that Hundley gives in the book.
Okay, so she talks a lot about lavender.
Mm-hmm.
And lavender is really good for calming the nervous system, relieving anxiety, and just promoting sleep. So if you're having trouble sleeping, maybe try a little bit of lavender oil
Yeah.
or, there's lavender tea and
Like a sachet or something.
yeah, sachets. You can put it in your pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of things.
Okay. And then what about echinacea? I feel like I always think of echinacea for
Echinacea. Yeah, that's a good one. That's really good for the immune system. So, if you feel a cold coming on or, especially during those winter months when everybody's getting sick, it's good to have some echinacea on hand.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. And then chamomile, that's kind of a classic. Like I said, for
Chamomile, yeah.
chamomile's good for digestion. So if you have an upset stomach or anything like that, it's just really soothing. And stress too, right? It's like a
Yeah, stress.
anxiety.
Yeah, it's just a very gentle, calming herb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about valerian root? That's one I don't know a ton about, but I've heard.
Valerian root.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, valerian root is a little bit stronger.
Okay.
So that's more for if you're having really serious insomnia,
Okay.
you just can't sleep. Valerian root can help with that. It's also good for nervous
Oh.
tension, anxiety.
Really? Okay. So it's kind of the next level up from...
Yeah, it's like if chamomile's not doing it,
Yeah, chamomile's not cutting it. Okay. Interesting.
try valerian root.
And then I know like calendula, right? I think of that as a skin thing.
Oh, calendula.
Yeah.
Calendula is amazing for the skin.
Yeah.
It's really good for soothing irritation, like if you have a rash or a burn.
Yeah, I've used that before. It's good.
Yeah, it's great. It's also good for like diaper rash for babies.
Oh, wow.
It's very, very gentle. Yeah.
Okay. And what I really like about the book is that she doesn't just tell you,
Right.
here's what this plant is good for. It's like,
Here's how to use it.
yeah, like here are some ways you can bring this into your life,
Yeah.
right? So it's not just like, oh, I'm going to buy a bottle of
Right.
echinacea
Right.
and take it. It's like, no, it's about
Be more
being-
intentional with it.
Yeah, intentional with it. So, even something simple like
Yeah.
brewing a cup of chamomile tea becomes a little bit more than just a drink, right?
Right. It's like a ritual.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh.
okay, I'm doing this
Mhm.
for a reason.
Exactly.
Or if you're adding a few drops of lavender oil to your bath, it's not just about making your bath smell good. It's
Right.
about like relaxing.
It's about creating a whole experience
Yeah,
and setting the mode.
that makes total sense.
Yeah.
So, and even tending to a plant, like you said before, if you have that mindset, that intention of like,
Right.
I'm, nurturing this plant,
Yeah.
it can become a form of magic too.
It is. It's like you're nurturing yourself too.
Yeah.
Because you're taking care of something and
Yeah.
it's giving back to you. It's giving you
Yeah, that's so true.
beauty and, all that.
So it's not just about healing. We've talked about kind of physical healing, but Hunley also talks about how to incorporate plant magic
Mm.
into your everyday rituals, like those little things that
Yes.
can kind of shift your mindset.
So she has a lot of great suggestions for that.
Yeah, give me some examples. I want to know what I can do.
Okay. So one of my favorites is the morning herbal infusion.
Okay.
So you choose herbs that align with your goals for the day.
Okay, so like I'm thinking like if it's a Monday morning and I'm like, oh my God, I need some
Yeah.
energy. What would I use?
So you might want to use something like mint, which is very energizing
Okay.
and uplifting. Or maybe you have a big presentation that day,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to be really focused. You could use rosemary, which is good
Okay.
for memory and focus.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So you
So you just kind of pick your herb based
fix
on
your intention. Yeah.
That's cool.
And then as you're steeping the herbs, you just kind of sit with it and visualize your
Oh.
goals for the day.
So it's not just about like making tea. It's about like having that time to be.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like a medication almost.
Yeah. That's a good one. What else?
Another one is the evening plant reflection.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, instead of, scrolling through your phone.
Right. Which is what I usually do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take a few moments to just sit with the plant in your home.
Okay.
Maybe touch its leaves and just visualize it absorbing any stress or negative energy that
Oh.
you've picked up throughout the day.
Oh, so it's like I'm giving it to the plant to kind of.
Yeah, like it's cleansing you. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And it's also a good way to just, kind of unwind
Yeah.
and connect with nature before you go to bed.
That's really cool. And I think, a lot of people, when they think of plant magic, they think of like,
Right.
elaborate rituals and stuff. But
Right.
like, it doesn't have to be that at all, right? It can be.
It can be very simple.
Yeah, like it's just these little things.
Yeah, it's about incorporating it into your everyday life,
Exactly.
and just being more mindful of
Yeah.
the plants around you.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about rituals. Let's talk about our spaces. Like, how can we use
Your
plants
places.
to kind of transform,
Transform your home.
yeah, our homes, our offices, whatever, into like,
So you can create a sanctuary, basically,
well, yeah,
with
yeah.
plants.
Okay, so Hunley gives some specific examples, right, of like which plant
She
you
does.
to use for what.
So if you want to create like a calming meditation space, lavender and rosemary are great.
Okay, lavender and rosemary. So we're kind of coming back to those a lot. So they must be,
They're very versatile. Yeah.
yeah, like good all around.
They are. Yeah.
Okay, what about like if I want to bring like abundance and good vibes?
Oh, abundance. So jade is really good for that.
Okay.
A lot of people have jade plants
Yeah.
in their homes or offices,
Mm-hmm.
and it's said to attract prosperity. And then aloe vera is
Okay.
also really good for that.
Aloe vera. Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, so it's not just
Not just for healing.
like about what the plant looks like or anything. It's about like its energy, I
It's
guess.
about the energy, yeah. And the symbolism behind it, too.
That's really cool. And placement matters too, right? Like,
Placement.
yes.
So she talks about how to place plants
Mhm.
strategically in your home. So, for example, you might want to put like a coal plant near your entryway,
Okay.
like to act as a guardian, to kind of
Oh, so it's almost like
come in good energy.
it's like a bouncer or something,
But
in a
it's
good way.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And then you might want to put like a small plant on your altar, if you have one,
Mm-hmm.
or, a focal point in your home to kind of, concentrate the energy there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she gives like specific recommendations for different rooms too, right? Like
She does.
for your bedroom.
So for the bedroom, she recommends things like jasmine and peace lily,
Okay.
which are very calming and peaceful, obviously.
Makes sense. And
Yeah.
then for the kitchen, what's good for the kitchen?
So for the kitchen, she recommends things like basil and mint,
Okay.
which are said to attract protection and prosperity.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then like my workspace, what would be good for my
Your workspace. Oh, so for your workspace, rosemary's there
rosemary?
for focus and creativity.
Okay, I'm going to get myself some rosemary.
Yeah. And bamboo's also good for that.
Okay, bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not just about like
It's not just aesthetic.
yeah, it's not just about putting like a pretty plant. It's
Right.
about like being intentional about it.
It's about the energy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then, don't forget to connect with your plants,
Yeah.
like talk to them, express gratitude to them.
Okay, so it's not just about like watering them and that's it.
No.
It's about like
It's a relationship.
yeah, building a relationship. Okay.
Yeah. You could even try meditating with them or using them in your rituals.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then cleansing, I mean, obviously this is a big thing, right? Like we cleanse our bodies and our
Same.
minds.
Yeah,
Our plants and spaces need it too.
they do. Yeah.
What are some good ways to do that?
So smudging with sage or Palo Santo
Okay.
is really good for clearing out negative energy.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can also use sound vibrations, like a singing bowl.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's about,
It's about resetting the energy.
yeah, kind of hit the reset button.
Mhm.
Okay, that's cool. And this all leads up to what I think is one of the most fun aspects
Yeah.
of plant magic, which is,
Potions,
yes, like making your own potions and
teas, and tinctures.
and tinctures. It's so much fun. It's like you're a modern day alchemist.
Exactly. You're like mixing up all
Yeah.
these magical ingredients.
Okay, so what kind of
Yeah.
purposes are we talking about here? Like what can these potions and
So you can make potions for all sorts of things: love, protection, clarity, energy,
wow, okay.
anything you can think of.
Okay, that's exciting. So give me some examples. I need to know what kind of recipes.
Okay. So Hundley has a recipe for a love potion with rose petals, jasmine, and honey.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she has a recipe for a calming tea with chamomile, lavender, and lemon balm.
Okay.
And then for protection, she has a tincture with garlic, echinacea, and thyme.
Okay, so like each plant has a specific magical property that you're...
Right. And you have to understand those properties and align them
Okay.
with your intentions.
Okay.
So if you're making a love potion, you're not going to use garlic.
Right. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
And then how do you actually like put the intention into it? Like, is it just about mixing the ingredients or is there...
No, it's more than that.
Okay.
So you want to, as you're making it, you want to visualize
Mhm.
your desired outcome. You can whisper affirmations.
Yeah.
Some people even like stir in a specific direction.
Really?
Yeah. Like clockwise for, attracting something and counterclockwise for banishing something.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's about adding that extra layer of intention
Mhm.
and energy to it.
Okay.
And Humley suggests keeping a journal
Okay.
to keep track of your recipes and your intentions.
Oh, so you can kind of see what works?
Yeah. See what works.
Yeah.
And how you feel.
Okay. And, speaking of like all of these things kind of working together,
Mhm.
she talks about how important it is to align your plant magic with the cycles of nature, right?
The cycles of nature, yes. So, nature has a rhythm.
Yeah.
It has the flood.
Seasons.
The seasons. Yeah. And each season offers unique energies
Mhm.
and opportunities for us to work with.
Okay, so like in the spring, what are we working with? What's...
So spring is a time for new beginnings,
Mhm,
for
mhm.
planting those seeds of intention
Yeah.
and watching them grow.
So what would be like some good plants for spring?
So some good plants for spring would be things like daisies
Okay.
and tulips,
Okay.
very, very springy plants.
Yeah.
And mint, right?
Mint, yeah. Mint is really good for spring too.
Okay. So it's about like, using those in your rituals, having them in your...
Yeah, having them around you.
Yeah. Okay.
Just connecting with that energy of new beginnings.
Okay. And then summer, it's all about like that abundance, right? That heat.
Summer's about abundance, vitality.
Mhm.
It's a great time to manifest
Yeah.
your desires.
So what would be like a summery plant?
So some good summer plants would be lavender,
Okay.
rosemary, and sunflowers.
Okay, sunflowers make sense.
Yeah, they're just cheerful.
They're so cheerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Okay. And then as we move into the fall, it's kind of,
Fall is about harvest.
yeah.
Reflection.
Yeah, letting go.
Letting go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would be like some plants for that?
So some good fall plants would be sage,
Okay.
marigold, and pumpkins.
Okay. So we're getting a little like Halloween-y here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, they're very autumnal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then winter, it's about like that.
Winter is about rest,
Yeah.
introspection,
Going inward.
going inward.
Yeah. So what would be like a good winter plant?
So some good winter plants would be evergreen trees, which symbolize
Uh-huh.
the enduring spirit of life.
Hmm.
And then holly for protection,
Okay.
and mistletoe for, love and peace.
Oh, yeah. Very festive.
Very festive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So by, aligning our practices with these seasons,
Mhm.
we're really,
You're tapping into a deeper rhythm.
yeah. It's like we're in tune with nature.
You're in tune with nature. Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of the foundation, right, of like what plant magic is all about.
Yeah.
But now, how do we actually do it?
Exactly.
Stay tuned, because in the next part of our deep dive, we're
Yeah.
going to talk about,
We're going to get practical
we're going to get practical
Yeah.
about how to bring all of this
into your life.
into your everyday life.
Yeah.
I'm excited. All right, so we've talked about all this amazing stuff, the history, the healing properties, the rituals. But how do we actually do this? How do we bring plant magic into our lives?
Well, Hundley emphasizes that it's not about like controlling nature, right? It's about working with it, like respecting the plants and their energy.
Yeah, recognizing that they have like their own intelligence. We're not trying to,
Right.
bend them to our will.
Right.
It's more like a partnership, right?
Exactly. It's like a collaboration. And that's where intention comes in.
Yeah, tell me more about that. How does intention play a role?
Well, when you approach plant magic with a clear intention, you're basically aligning your energy with the plant's energy.
So it's like I'm not just grabbing a random herb. I'm thinking about what I want.
Right.
And kind of putting that energy out there.
Exactly. It's like you're sending a request, not a demand.
Okay, I like that. So let's say I want to use lavender for relaxation. I wouldn't just like
Right.
smell it and expect to be instantly zen, right?
Right. You have to be more intentional about it.
Okay, so walk me through that. What would that look like?
Well, first you might create a calming atmosphere. Light some candles, dim the lights, maybe put on some relaxing music.
Okay, set the mood.
Exactly. And then you could sit with the lavender, maybe hold it in your hands, breathe in its scent.
So really engage with it.
Yeah. And visualize its energy, like filling your body and calming your mind.
So it's about like that mindfulness piece again, being present in the moment.
Exactly. It's about creating that sacred space, even if it's just for a few minutes.
I love that. Now, I know some people might be thinking, okay, but what if I'm not like a plant person? What if I don't have a green thumb? Can they still do this?
Oh, absolutely. You don't need to be a master gardener or anything.
Okay, good.
Even just bringing fresh flowers into your home can be powerful. Or, having a small potted herb on your windowsill.
Okay, so it's about like those small steps, just finding what works for you.
Exactly. And as you start connecting with plants more, you might notice your intuition kind of guiding you.
Oh, interesting. Like how so?
Well, you might be drawn to certain plants at certain times, or you might just have this feeling that a particular plant is what you need.
Oh, wow. So it's about trusting those instincts.
Yeah, and that's where the real magic happens. It's that connection with your intuition and with the natural world.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about intention, mindfulness, connecting with your intuition. What are some other practical tips for someone who's just starting out?
Well, start small. Don't try to do everything at once. Just pick one or two plants that really speak to you
Okay.
and experiment. Read about their properties. Try different ways of working with them.
Okay. So like maybe in teas or baths or even just meditation?
Exactly. And keep a journal. Track what you're doing and how you're feeling.
You can kind of see what works for you.
Exactly. And creating a sacred space can be really helpful too.
Okay. Yeah, tell me more about that.
Well, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could just be a corner of your bedroom or a spot in your garden, even your windowsill.
Okay.
The important thing is that it feels special to you. Like a place where you can connect with plants without distractions.
And maybe add some things that feel, kind of magical to you.
Eat like crystals or candles or, whatever resonates with you.
I like that. Okay, and then cleansing. We talked about that before.
Cleansing is important too. Before any ritual or practice, you want to make sure you're starting with a clean slate.
Okay, so smudging with sage or ringing a bell or even just visualizing like white light filling the space.
Exactly, just clearing out any negative energy.
Okay, that makes sense. And I think the most important thing is just to remember that this is a journey.
It is a journey, it's not a destination.
Yeah, and there's always more to learn, so stay curious and keep experimenting.
And have fun with it.
Yes, that's key. All right, so we've talked about working with plants in general. Now let's get to the fun stuff, making potions, teas, and tinctures.
Yes, this is where it gets really exciting.
I know, it's like becoming a modern-day alchemist.
Exactly, you're harnessing the power of plants to create these magical concoctions.
Okay, so what are some things we can make? Like, what are the possibilities?
Oh, the possibilities are endless. You can make potions for love, protection, healing, abundance, clarity, energy, you name it.
Okay, so send me some examples. What are some recipes that Hunley shares in the book?
Well, she has a recipe for a love potion using rose petals, jasmine, and honey.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Why those ingredients?
Well, each one is chosen for its specific magical properties. Roses represent love and passion, jasmine is known for its aphrodisiac qualities, and honey adds sweetness and attraction.
Oh, I love that. It's like a recipe for love bottled up in a potion.
Exactly. And you can enjoy it as a tea, add it to a bath, or even use it as a perfume.
Wow, so many options. What about teas? I'm a big tea drinker.
Well, if you're feeling stressed, she has a calming tea with chamomile, lavender, and lemon balm.
Oh, I love chamomile tea. What do the other two do?
Lavender promotes restful sleep, and lemon balm uplifts the spirits while easing tension. It's like a triple threat against stress.
Okay, I need that in my life. And of course, you can add honey to sweeten it up.
Absolutely. Honey is a wonderful addition to any tea. It enhances the magical properties and makes it taste delicious.
Now, for those times when we need something a little stronger, what about tinctures?
Ah, yes, tinctures. These are concentrated herbal extracts made by soaking herbs in alcohol or vinegar for several weeks.
Oh, wow, so they're pretty potent.
They are. Hunley has a recipe for a protective tincture using garlic, echinacea, and thyme.
Interesting combination. What makes those protective?
Garlic is known for warding off negative energy and has antimicrobial properties. Echinacea boosts the immune system, and thyme is known for its purifying and protective qualities.
Wow, that sounds like a powerful blend. How do you use it?
You can take a few drops internally or add it to baths and cleaning solutions for an extra layer of protection.
Okay, so as we're making these potions, teas, and tinctures, it's not just about following a recipe, right?
Right, it's about infusing your intention into every step.
Okay, so like visualize the outcome I want, say affirmations, maybe even stir in a specific direction.
Exactly. You can also charge your creations by placing them under the moonlight or sunlight or on a crystal grid.
Wow, so many ways to add that extra layer of magic.
And don't forget to keep a journal of your recipes and experiences. It's like creating your own personal grimoire.
I love that idea. It's like documenting your magical journey. Now, remember how we talked about working with the seasons?
Yes, it's so important to align our plant magic with the natural cycles.
So like spring is a time for new beginnings, right? For planting seeds of intention and watching them grow. What are some good plants for spring?
Think daisies, tulips, and mint. Daisies represent innocence and purity, tulips symbolize new beginnings, and mint invigorates the senses and promotes clarity.
I can totally see how those would be perfect for spring. How do we incorporate them into our practice?
You can make flower essences, add them to baths, or simply place them on your altar or in your home to connect with their energy.
I love that. And what about summer? It's a time of abundance, warmth, and vitality.
Absolutely. Lavender, rosemary, and sunflowers are powerful allies during summer. Lavender promotes peace and love, rosemary enhances memory and clarity, and sunflowers radiate joy and abundance.
Those are definitely summer vibes. How can we work with them?
You can make sun teas, create herbal wreaths, or just enjoy their beauty and fragrance in your garden.
Sounds magical. And then we move into autumn, a time of harvest, reflection, and letting go.
Yes, it's a time to work with sage, marigold, and pumpkins. Sage is a powerful cleanser. Marigold honors ancestors and offers protection, and pumpkins represent abundance and gratitude.
I can see how those would be fitting for autumn. How can we use them in our rituals?
You can smudge your home with sage, create marigold garlands, or carve pumpkins with intentions for the coming year.
Those are great ideas. And finally, as the days grow shorter and we move into winter, it's a time for rest, introspection, and renewal. What plants can support us during this inward time?
Evergreen trees, holly, and mistletoe are potent during winter. Evergreens represent resilience, holly symbolizes protection, and mistletoe is associated with love and peace.
Those are all such beautiful symbols. How can we bring them into our winter practices?
You can decorate your home with evergreen boughs, create holly wreaths, or hang mistletoe for love and blessings.
It's amazing how each season has its own unique energy and how plants can help us connect with and work with that energy.
Exactly. By aligning our practices with the seasons, we tap into a deeper rhythm, a flow that connects us to nature.
It's like we're becoming more in tune with the natural world, with the cycles of growth, death, and rebirth.
Exactly. And that can bring so much wisdom and healing into our lives.
We've learned so much about plant magic, but how do we make this more than just a phase? How do we make it a real part of our lives?
Well, Hunley gives some really great advice on that. One thing she says is to always stay curious. Don't be afraid to experiment.
Like keep trying new plants and techniques.
Exactly. The plant world is so vast, there's always something new to discover. And another great way to learn is to connect with other people who are into plant magic.
Oh yeah, find a community.
Yeah, like online forums or local groups or maybe take a workshop. It's really helpful to share experiences and learn from others.
It's like having a support system, right? People who get it.
Exactly. But of course, the most important relationship is the one you build with the plants themselves.
Right. It all comes back to that.
Yeah, so spend time in nature, observe the plants, really listen to them.
It's like they have so much to teach us if we just pay attention.
Exactly. And don't forget to express gratitude for their presence in your life. Just that simple act of appreciation can deepen your connection.
I love that. And, we've talked about working with the season, aligning our practices with those natural cycles. That's a big part of it too, right?
It is. It's about staying in tune with the rhythm of nature. Like each season has its own unique energy. And by working with those energies, we can really enhance our plant magic.
Yeah, and it's not just about like learning a set of practices. It's about like personal transformation.
Absolutely. Plant magic can be a powerful tool for self-discovery and healing.
Yeah, like you might start to notice shifts in your energy, your mindset, even how you connect with the world affects you.
Exactly. It's like you're opening yourself up to a whole new way of experiencing life.
More connected, more in tune.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive into plant magic, I want to leave you with a question. How can you bring even just a little bit of plant magic into your own life?
Yeah, think back to all the amazing things we've talked about. The ancient traditions, the healing power of plants, the simple rituals you can do every day.
It's really about tapping into that ancient wisdom, that connection with nature that's always been there.
And seeing how it can transform your life.
Exactly. So keep exploring,